feel like you're stuck in a fat suit? Do you ever feel like your bubbly, outgoing personality is held hostage by this big body that you don't feel comfortable in? I used to feel like that. I used to feel like there's so many things I'm capable of doing and so many things that I want to do, but for some reason I was held back by this big body that I just didn't feel comfortable in. So today I'm going to make a video on 7 ways to shed your mental and your physical fat suit. But before I do that, I just wanted to let you guys know that I want you to smash that subscribe button right now, hit that notification bell. The notification bell is important. That notifies you every time my videos come out. And also make sure to share this video with a friend if it resonates with you. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. 7 steps on how to shed your mental and your physical fat suit. When my BMI was obese last year, I felt trapped. I felt stuck in this fat suit. I felt like a little butterfly that was just trapped by this massive cocoon that I couldn't get out of. It was not only mentally heavy, but it was physically heavy as well. Mentally, I felt so self-conscious and out of control because every time I wanted to get back on that wagon, I would do 2 or 3 days, and after 2 or 3 days, I would give in to the gluttony, or I would give in to my temptations. So let's say I was on a plan and I was doing well for 2 or 3 days, then all of a sudden this temptation was in front of me and I would cave because of my sugar cravings, or I would give in to boredom eating or emotional eating or anything like that, and I just felt so trapped because I was stuck in this cycle where every single time I tried to break free of the cycle, it just kind of sucked me back in, and I needed to find a way out. Food was really my addiction because food gave me that instant gratification. It gave me that sense of comfort, and I felt so happy every time I ate. But after I ate the things I knew I shouldn't be eating, then I would feel worse. I would feel worse, I would hide away from people, I would isolate myself from everyone around me because I just felt so sad, depressed, lonely, and ashamed. This is why my fat suit, as I call it, was so mentally heavy because it would just drag me down. It just felt like I constantly had this rain cloud on top of me that was following me everywhere and making me feel sad all the time. Every time I fell into this cycle of eating, feeling bad for myself, eating, feeling bad for myself, I would just spiral out of control and I couldn't get out of it. And the reason I make these videos, the reason I'm so passionate about what I do is because I wish that somebody held out their hand for me and pulled me out of this hole. So what I want to do for you guys is that I want to be that lifeline. I want to take the lifeline and throw it in for you guys so you can grab it and we can save you out of the water. I want you to know that you're not doomed. I used to think that I was doomed to be overweight for the rest of my life because there was something wrong with my genetics. But the truth is it had nothing to do with my genetics. It had all to do with my self-discipline and the mental part of my journey. And that's why I always try to coach you guys on the mental side of the journey, because mentally, if you're not ready, then this journey is going to be very impossible to get through. So this is why I want to throw that lifeline out for you guys. If you guys need more one-on-one coaching, then feel free to go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/fastforwardtohealth. I offer some one-on-one motivation and support if you guys need it, just because our group is growing so much and our community is growing so much that I can't give everyone that individual attention. And I'm trying my best to answer every single person's messages immediately, but it's getting really overwhelming. So if you guys want one-on-one support, I'd be happy to do it for you guys. And in exchange, all I ask for is a little tiny donation on my Patreon if you feel comfortable with that, which helps support me in continuing and making this content for you guys, helping me motivate you guys, helping me spread awareness about this, because I really want you to know that you're not doomed, you're not big boned, you're not stuck in this body, and you can get out of it. You just need to reprogram your mind, and that's what I talk about almost every single day on my channel here. On the other hand, I felt like this fat suit around me, I felt like it was physically heavy, physically draining. Because imagine if you have an extra 100 pounds on you, imagine walking around doing your day-to-day tasks holding 2 big 50-pound dumbbells in your hands. Dumbbells that you're dragging around all day and lugging it around. Imagine that. Just normal day-to-day things like doing groceries, getting out of bed, walking around, walking up a flight of stairs. Everything just felt so much harder. I couldn't feel comfortable walking up a flight of stairs without feeling winded and without feeling out of breath. And I always tried to do this little cough when I was with people walking upstairs. I didn't want them to know I'm tired because clearly I was obese and overweight and I was embarrassed about it. So I'd be like walking up the stairs and so they think that I'm actually coughing because I have a cold or I have something stuck in my throat rather than being out of breath. So I always tried to hide my out of breath and my shortness of breath by coughing, which is so ridiculous now that I think about it, because they probably knew that I was just dying and out of breath. But I thought this was something that made me feel better because I didn't want them to know how out of breath and how out of shape that I was. Another reason I felt so physically heavy is because all of a sudden when I started getting overweight, not only did I have borderline sleep apnea, like a very mild sleep apnea, and I snored like crazy. One day I'll tell you guys a ridiculous story, but I snored like crazy. And officially I didn't even have asthma, but I needed to carry my puffer around, my Ventolin puffer around with me everywhere, because all of a sudden I'd be doing normal things and I'd feel so out of breath and I just didn't feel good. It just felt like someone was sitting and pressing down on my chest all the time. Everything was so much harder. One thing that made me so self-conscious, that still makes me self-conscious to this very day, is that every time I would get in an elevator, when I was obese, it would shake like an earthquake. So everybody gets in the elevator, everybody gets in the elevator, and then I would get in the elevator like, doom, doom, and then the whole elevator would shake, and I just felt like everybody was staring at me, because I felt like the whole thing was gonna snap. Most of it obviously was in my head, but I felt so insecure, so self-conscious, and so heavy. Not to mention that my arms felt so big and so heavy that it didn't matter if it was the middle of the summer on the scorching, most sizzling, hottest day ever, I would still bring a cardigan with me and walk around with a cardigan because I didn't want anyone to see how big my arms were. It was really hard. Even now, looking at the camera, I'm just still trying to get over the fact that my arms used to bother me, and now they're becoming more slim, but still, it's something that I'm still self-conscious about because I have to mentally program myself to let go of that self-conscious behavior that I used to have. When we would have get-togethers with friends or family and sit at someone's house, I always sat on the couch and took a big pillow or a big blanket and put it right on my stomach and held it, or hid myself with the blanket because it was cozier, but actually I was just trying to hide my big stomach rolls. It was honestly so sad, so mentally challenging, so physically challenging, and that's why I always tell you guys, pick your hard. Obviously, starting a fitness journey, starting a health journey, starting a weight loss journey, obviously it's hard. It's not easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's tough. You have to have that mental discipline. But being overweight is hard, and being obese is hard because it's a whole different type of hard. That's the type of hard that messes you up emotionally because it burns in your heart, and it's very painful to deal with that because you know that actually you're such a beautiful person, but you feel like you're held hostage by this body that you're trapped in. The first step to shedding your fat suit, mentally or physically, is to visualize. Without visualizing what your body would look like when you get to your goal weight, then it's impossible to start taking steps to get there. Because if you're not able to understand and visualize what you're gonna look like and how you're gonna feel, then how will you ever allow yourself to get over that hurdle where you feel like you're doomed forever and you're stuck to be overweight forever? You're not big boned and you're not stuck in this body forever, and it's not just something that you're given and you have to stay like that. It's not impossible for you to lose weight. It might feel impossible because you might have been struggling your entire life. But again, it's the mental programming that you need to do. So in order to do the mental programming, you need to allow yourself and give yourself permission to see yourself at a smaller size and to see yourself at that goal body. Right now, it's possible that you're not even able to picture yourself being slim because you've been overweight for so long, but give yourself permission and look in the mirror and visualize yourself when you have that healthier goal body, when you have a BMI that's more normal weight. And I'm not saying anything wrong about being overweight. I'm just saying from a health perspective, a lot of things become a lot easier when you're of normal BMI. Not saying that BMI is the most important thing of the world either, but health is important, and having that body positivity to actually allow yourself to achieve health while still loving yourself in your own skin is very, very important. So step one is visualizing what you're gonna look like when you have that healthy body. Step number 2, body positivity. This ties in a bit with step number 1, and the reason body positivity is so important is because you need to forgive yourself. So what? You ate a little extra for a couple years and you gained some weight. Forgive yourself. It's not the end of the world. It's not like it's a permanent change. It's something that you can reverse very easily to lose weight and get healthy again. You don't need to get in that vicious circle of self-loathing and feeling bad for yourself. You need to look in the mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful, you're handsome, you're worthy, you're not any less of a person because you've gained weight. It's nothing personal, it's nothing about you, it's not who you are. It's just a little bit of extra fat on you, like if you're wearing a big fat coat, that's it. That's all it is. It's important to make peace with yourself right now and forgive yourself, because no matter how many times you tried, or no matter if you lost weight and gained it all back again, it doesn't matter right now. All that matters is that right now you've committed to make the steps you need to take in order to change, in order to achieve a better health. So right now you need to forgive yourself and say, listen, I ate poorly a little bit, and right now I'm making a decision to become a better person and to change my eating habits once and for all to become healthier. You have to face the facts and say, you know what, I ate too much, so what? I'm taking the steps I need to be taking right now, and I forgive myself, and I know that I'm gonna get healthy. You have to tell yourself, listen, I made some mistakes, I got to where I am today, so I forgive myself, and now that I've learned from my mistakes, I can take the steps necessary to get where I wanna be. No more negativity, no more negative self-talk, no more self-loathing, only peace, forgiveness, and learning from your mistakes and moving forward in a positive way. You have to respect yourself, respect your body, love yourself, and treat your body with the respect that it deserves. Because as they say, your body is a temple. Your body is all you have for the rest of your life. If you have nothing else, your body is what you live in. Your body is what you're stuck in. So you have to make sure to take the steps to feel comfortable in your skin, whether it's a mental step to feel less insecure or a physical step to achieve that health that you've been wanting for years. Step number 3, journal. As you know, the journey to getting healthy and the journey to losing weight is very emotional and very mental. So you need to take that opportunity to take a piece of paper or take a journal and write everything down all the time. That's how you're gonna find your emotional triggers. Whether you're eating for comfort or eating for boredom or eating emotionally, that's when you identify the pattern and try to break the pattern. Because let's say that one day something happened and you're feeling really sad and you reach for food. Instead of reaching for that food, go grab your journal. It's easier said than done, but grab your journal and before you eat, write in it, I feel sad, blah, 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 XYZ happened today and I'm feeling really under the weather and that's making me want to eat emotionally. That way you could step back and read it to yourself and realize that there's a link between your emotions and food. And journaling is going to help you separate those emotions from the eating to try to break that link that you've created between them. Write everything down. Whether one day you're feeling super happy and you want to treat yourself because you're feeling happy and you want to celebrate something, or whether one day you're bored and you're eating out of boredom, or whether eating makes you feel cozy, safe, and comfortable, or whether you eat because you feel triggered, whether you're happy or sad or depressed or you feel anxiety or you're stressed, anything like that. The key is the more you write down and the more you journal, the more you'll be able to clearly see what your pattern is and try to break free of that pattern once and for all. Number 4, positive affirmations. I talk about this all the time. You need to do positive affirmations every single day and for anything that you want in your life. I know it might sound a little mumbo jumbo, but you really need to take the time to send that positive energy into the universe. Because if you send that positive energy into the universe, then the positive energy will come back at you. And I know this might sound crazy, but fasting, for example, is going to help you connect yourself to a more spiritual level of yourself. So you need to do positive affirmations every single day. It starts like this. It starts with I am blah, 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 blah. So tell yourself, I am passionate, I am capable, I will do this, I will not make excuses anymore, and I am capable of achieving that healthier body that I deserve. Do these positive affirmations every single day and write them down if you need to. Write them down once, write them down 10 times, just write them down and send that energy into the universe. Number 5, join a community. So right now you guys have access to the Fast Forward to Health community that we have right here. If you don't have Facebook, that's fine. I'm actually announcing that I'm building a forum right now. So in the next week or so, that forum's gonna be ready. So you can go straight to that forum and ask your questions and be part of that community. If you have Facebook, we also have our Facebook community. It's called facebook.com/group/fastforwardtohealth, and you're welcome to join there too. In the meantime, you can also join by sending me an email at fastforwardtohealth@gmail.com, and I'll add you to our motivational emailing list. So join one of the communities. There's tons of communities online for fasting and weight loss support. So join one of them. Our YouTube is a community as well. So if you want to make sure to be part of our YouTube community, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos. Number 6, pick a lifestyle. You don't need to put so much thought into it. Just pick something and run with it. Obviously, the most important part of this is the mental programming as well as the consistency. So pick a program and stick to it and run with it. As a lot of you guys know, I started this whole weight loss journey with OMAD and keto. So OMAD means 1 meal a day intermittent fasting. It doesn't really matter which tools you pick to do this journey. Obviously, I recommend intermittent fasting, keto, and water fasting, but just pick something and stick with it. Everyone has to start somewhere, and that's where I started, and now I incorporate these longer water fasts into my regimen, which is amazing because I've worked my way up to it. So pick something and stick with it. That's how you get started. Step number 7, get started. No more excuses, no more procrastinating, no more I'm gonna start tomorrow or no more I'm gonna start Monday. Start right now. I don't care if you're in the middle of a bag of chips, drop that bag of chips and get started right now. No more procrastinating. Let's do this. If you join our community, I'll send you a challenge calendar so you can print it and stick it on your wall and put a big fat X right in the middle of every single day that you complete. No more procrastinating. Hold yourself accountable. I'm holding you accountable, so are you holding yourself accountable too? If this video helped you and it made you feel motivated, make sure you take this video and share it on your Facebook wall and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and share it with a friend who needs it. Maybe there's someone who's struggling and you need to help them, so share this video with them, share it on your wall, and let's get started on this journey together. Remember, you can do this, you're capable. Now let's shed that proverbial fat suit and get healthy once and for all. I'll see you guys next time. Happy fasting, and I hope you guys are excited for our challenge that's starting in a couple days. Mwah. Bye.